Welcome to the Shine Strong Roundtable series. We have had discussion tackling the various issues that prevent women from being their best and how to overcome it. But today, as we near the end of 2014, we need a little bit more of inspiration to meet 2015 shining strong. Hello, I'm Tracy Abad. By now, we've bought our presents, Christmas presents, spent our 13-month bonuses, attended reunions. But think of the year not just as a series of achievements or a collection of work projects or 2 semesters worth of school. Try to recall what 2014 was for you. What battles left you scarred? What triumphs gave you strength? And what do you need to do to let go of and meet 2015 shining strong? Our guest today is someone who we can definitely learn from. She was called names but liberated herself from the painful labels that were attached to her. Her brave confession has already garnered almost 1.5 million views on YouTube, and she's a celebrity, a proud mother, and now she is happily engaged. Please welcome Denise Laurel.
Hi, Tracy. Hi,
Welcome.
everyone. Hello. Oh, there. Hi.
Thank you for being here today. We know how busy you are,
Especially, my pleasure.
Especially this Christmas season.
Yes.
Everybody's so busy and shopping and everything.
Stuck in traffic.
Exactly. But let's move past that. Let's think about the whole 2014 for you. How has it been so far?
Well, like everybody else, you not just at any year, every day you want to do something great. You wake up in the morning and you want to do something awesome. And there are times you wake up in the morning and it's not so awesome. But you have to remind yourself how blessed you are and just do what you got to do. So I think this year, like every other, you strive for the best and you work hard. So this year has been a year of working hard for me and a few milestones along the way.
Oh, wow. Let's talk about that. Of course, what are the triumphs that you are very important for you in 2014?
Not necessarily a triumph, but kind of like a secret goal of mine.
Okay.
Because when I was pregnant, I actually didn't think I was going to come back to work. When I found out I was pregnant, I didn't even think it would be a big deal. I didn't think that, people would care because I was already 22 at that time, and I'm not like a mainstream actress. I'm an actress, if that makes any sense. So I didn't really think that anybody would make a big deal about it if I left and, enjoyed my pregnancy. But I guess one of the reasons why I came back was because I wanted to pave the way for other young moms out there and moms in general. Because out here, I feel like there's kind of that, I don't want to say trauma or double standard or way of thinking. I don't want to take on that negativity, but I feel like once you're a mom, they think that you should slow down.
Or you should just stay at home.
Yeah, nothing much you can do. Or the term sayang, which I actually mentioned a long time ago. I wanted to remove that stigma. I wanted to change all of that. I wanted to show women that being a mom and welcoming life into the world is something that's so inspiring that you can do so much more. It gets you excited. It's not the end, it's the beginning. And I felt like a lot of people were like, sayang, she was on her way up. I didn't even know I was on my way up. For me, I was just working really, really hard.
And you were just having fun.
And once you love what you do, it's not really,
it doesn't seem like work.
You just focus on your goals and what you want. And so I wanted to remove all that. And when I started reading, tweets like, oh, she's so sayang, or sayang talaga yung career niya, or kawawa naman. I'm like, why? It's such a beautiful thing. It's such a happy moment. I want to share it with all of you. And I felt like, other actresses out there might, along the way, start a family, want to get married. And that shouldn't be a hindrance to achieve their goals, to still be a beautiful, strong, sexy woman, to still be a housewife, a mom, and still yet, achieve your goals. I wanted
to break free from that.
Yeah, so going back to your question, I think along with Pantene, they helped me, unknowingly, we didn't even plan this. Like, they heard about my story. I never even told them about my goals, but I wanted to reach out to women. I wanted to show them, by example, by, trying my best and working hard, that you still can do whatever you want to do as a mom.
It shouldn't stop you from
single
anything.
Mom or not, married or not, or I don't want to promote, single motherhood. But it shouldn't be a hindrance. It should actually inspire you more for your child?
Correct.
You know, don't you want to be somebody that your child could look up to, be inspired by, and through adversities you've gotten this far, and
Right.
you know, your child can be proud of,
And
you
a
can be proud
perfect-
of yourself.
Right, and a perfect example of strength.
Exactly.
Right?
And I think, you know, the generations to come, they're going to need, the world is changing so quickly. They're going to need to know about strength. They're going to need to know about history and adversities. I feel like maybe with technology, things are getting too easy. I don't want to really touch on that, but and I don't want to generalize either, but
Okay.
we all want to be that strong person for the generation to come, because
Right.
they're going to be in charge of this world one day. I kind of sound Miss Universe-ish right now, but you know, it all goes hand in hand.
Right,
Like,
I totally
and I feel
understand.
like people are going to put you down. It's inevitable, but it's how you react to it. Are you gonna allow it to keep you down there? Nothing's gonna go on. You're just gonna wallow in sadness, or are you gonna use it to propel you forward? You know, criticism can be taken both. Anyway, you can use it to take you down, or you can take it and make yourself better,
That's right.
but not lose the essence of yourself. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Constructively.
So what were the since you were talking about those criticisms, what would you consider like those failures for 2014, or those hardships that you went through for 2014?
Well, I'm a human being, you know, like there's no person that's 100% secure. There's no person that, you know, is 100% happy all the time. And this is speaking honestly from the bottom of my heart. There are days, you know, it's easy to forget how blessed you are. There are days you wake up tired and you feel like you haven't achieved exactly what you wanted. There are days where, you know, you feel like you can do more and you get frustrated and somebody says something that isn't nice. You have feelings too. So
Right.
I feel like just like everybody else, there were days I would wake up and I'd think, you know, I want to take a step back and reevaluate, what am I doing here? What am I trying to achieve? Which is also very healthy, that I suggest, you know, sometimes you're so in the motion of things, you want to just take a step back and
Right.
reevaluate. But through this year, I've had my downs, and that's normal. I like to look at life as a staircase. You know, you take one step, and then before you get to the next step, you kind of have to, you know, mellow out for a second.
Right.
But it's always upwards. You know, there's always progress. But
And these things make you stronger.
exactly, God, I don't want to get all preachy, but I'm going to say it. God doesn't give you problems. He gives you progress. And I tweet that all the time. He loves you. He won't give you anything that you can't handle. But of course, at the moment when you're in the crap, like when you're in, you know, stuff that isn't going well, you feel bad. Allow yourself to feel bad, but not for too long. Like, okay, acknowledge you feel bad. What are you going to do
And
about
do
it?
something about
It's
it,
okay to
right.
vent. You can vent to your friends. You can vent to your loved ones. But also remind them that you're just venting. You're not like depressed or anything. But it is normal, and like anybody else. You know, 2014, I was working a lot, and my asthma got really, really bad, and I
Oh,
gained
no.
20 pounds from steroids, and that for my job isn't good. People thought I was letting go. It was my first time to play a mommy role, and that was a big thing for me. I mean, although I am a mom, it's difficult being so young and then you're playing a mom to an 11-year-old.
Oh wow.
So it's kind of like, you know, but as an actress,
It's a big change.
Yeah, you want change to benefit you. So good or bad, you try and just work through it. To be real here, like let's say, okay, the scenario that I'm in where it's my first time to play a mommy role, but I'm so young, I gained a lot of weight. How are you going to use that to your advantage? You can be sad about it, and my fiance knows I vent to him all the time, but what are you going to do about it? Are you going to use it to propel you to go further, or are you just
Are you gonna mope around and just be sad about
I feel
it?
like life is so short. Life is so short. Like, what are you gonna do with what you got?
Right.
You can always look at other people and envy and be like, oh, they have this, oh, they have that. But what's that gonna do? Like,
Right.
anong gagawin mo? Ayan na yung problema. So, how are you gonna make it work? And from there, from making it work, little by little, you won't even notice that you're working to your goal. I think people want things so quickly nowadays. People want things right now. You
Like
have
in
to
an
be on
instant,
top.
yes.
Yeah, instant.
Correct.
But I feel like, you know, I've been in this business for 17 years and I'm not even where I want to
Wow.
be. I
Yeah.
started from extra. I started from on my own. My family wanted me to be an actress.
Wow. Okay.
So I never had a yaya my whole life, never had a PA, I didn't have a driver. I would go to tapings in tricycles and commute the MRT. I'd, you know, do own makeup and hair, and it really takes time. People only will recognize you once it's something big right away, but you have to acknowledge the work that it takes to get there. You have to be patient with yourself. So on days that you wake up and you're not as happy as you would like to be, just know that you won't know what happy is if you aren't feeling.
You didn't really work for it.
This down, there's no ups if there's no downs.
Right.
If there's no struggle, how will you enjoy what you achieve?
How would you appreciate the good things, right?
And there's no small achievement. I feel
that's nice.
I feel like the young people should know that. I mean, we're young, but I mean, like the
younger ones.
I feel like
right.
I don't want them to be afraid of hard work. I don't want them to be afraid of, oh, it's too hard, I'm just gonna be emo about it and be sad about it. I want the next generation to be like, bring it on.
Or even worse, sad about it and give up, right?
Yes.
They have to fight.
I want them, that's why I'm so lucky that, again, one of my achievements this year is I got to spread my message. I got to spread my story. Not a lot of people knew, what was going on.
Right, and now they know.
Yeah, I didn't bring it out there for it to be a sad story,
but to inspire people. So, would you consider this year as a good year or a bad year?
It's a great year. I mean, what if more good things or more bad things happen? It wouldn't matter. It's time. Good or bad is a lesson learned.
Right.
I feel. I used to hear that so much from like adults, and when I was younger, I'd be like, whatever, that sounds so hallmarkish, but it's real. All the little sayings that they used to tell you when you were younger. I guess experience is the best teacher.
That's right. I have to agree with you. But of course, before getting to where you are now, we've been talking about you experiencing a lot of challenges, a lot of trials, also a lot of people talking and everything. So maybe you can share with us what were the names that people called when people found out that you were pregnant?
Well, I guess life kind of and situations kind of prepared me for what was about to come. I mean, growing up, I didn't understand why people, at first impression would have me so wrong. I used to be very quiet and musical and affectionate, and as into everybody, malambing ako, and I guess it would always get misunderstood. So it came to a point where when I was a teenager, I kind of didn't trust anybody because I felt like I was always misunderstood and judged because of how I looked. Kesa, whatever. Because I looked.
That's an artist, Kesha.
Yeah.
Okay, Kesa.
Because my features, they're malande. I guess at first impression, I look intimidating or maybe, woman of the world or like liberated and all that. But I came from a very conservative Catholic family. I sing for church. I wanted to be a nun if I wasn't an actress.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and came from a Catholic school. I was in theater, and I was very athletic. So I was exposed to all of that so early, and I just gave everybody love all the time. And people would take that the wrong way as me being malande or too open. But it's because I just looked at everybody purely for who they are. I didn't look at them with distrust or I can't trust them right away or I can't love this person because, I would always look at the positive in everyone, and what I would get back was not
so negative.
Good. So I was dumbfounded, and I was like, what's going on? Bakit ganon? Wala naman akong ginagawa sa mga tao. And I figured, wait, why am I going to think like a victim? I said, I'm just going to, still love everyone, still just blindly be myself and not worry about what other people have to say. I'm just going to, at least in my heart, I know that I gave you my true self.
Right.
But then, when I was mga 18, you're becoming a dalaga na. And of course, you have to kind of like be different, be more reserved, be more careful with how you act because you're a lady already.
Right.
But it came to a point where I was scared to make friends and scared to trust people because I was always misunderstood. Whatever I would say would be taken in the wrong way, and I was like, is it me?
Right.
So of course,
so you start blaming yourself.
No, not blaming, but trying to check myself.
Okay.
To the point that it would drive me crazy because I would try to please
everyone.
I became a super duper people pleaser, and that ruled my life. It took over every single thing that I did, and these labels started taking over who I was, and it was a struggle, just like with everybody else. I'm sure along the way in high school or in grade school, everybody is misunderstood.
Correct.
But it was when I was working with a great director, Direct Kathy Garcia Molina, and she told me, she goes, yung features mo kasi, it's very sensual. And then when she said that, it was like I got a light bulb on my head, and she meant it in the sweetest way. It's because when you're an actress, you have to know.
You have to know
your
your product.
You have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to deliver a scene.
Right.
So we were dissecting my face and how to convey a certain scene. She goes, "Yung face mo kasi, it's very sensual without you even trying." And then that's when it dawned on me. I was like, "Wow, okay, so this has been my problem the whole time. It's because my face looks malande." So people assume that I'm already like that, and I wouldn't understand. Plus, going with na bubbly pa ako,
and you're malambing,
pa
yes,
ako.
yes.
So hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit yung pagbalik sa akin ng mga tao, very, we want nothing to do with you. We don't want our kids to play with you, or, don't. If you hang out with the boys, since sporty ako, if you hang out with the boys, malandi ka. If you hang out with the girls, they would think that I was a lesbian. So I was like, oh my God, hold on.
It's like you'll never win.
Yeah. So now when she said that, I figured it out. I was like, okay. No wonder, I look malande. So, now that I knew that, the question mark was gone, and I knew in myself also that I wasn't doing anything wrong. And I there was a time where I was trying to downplay my looks because during my teen years, uso yung maputi, black hair, and then I was, I'm half Spanish, Filipino. I got these almond-shaped eyes, these lips, and I always had big curly hair. and so people would find that very, like, oh, she doesn't look like everybody else. Why does she look that way? And so I would try and, I felt ugly. I felt like, why do I look this way? God, why did you give me big lips and, smiling eyes? Like, I couldn't understand. I felt so ugly, but then I would say, it's okay, may talent naman ako. Yun na lang siguro yung nagbibigay sa akin ng trabaho na may talent ako or hard worker ako. Not trying to be mayabang, but I was really hardworking no matter what. But then when she said that, I figured it out. And
you used that as an advantage. And now you know what to do.
Yeah, so it became my forte. I was doing all the Precious Hearts romances, pocketbooks, which were kind of sensual. And at the same time, now I knew how to handle being around people. So I was open again. And I felt like, when you're open and when you accept yourself, and when you know who you are and that you're different, you're being different is a strength, then the whole world just gives you love back, and opportunities open up. You become more confident. And I feel like young women out there should know that what's different about them, what's unique about them, is beautiful.
Right.
There's no such thing as ugly, because God doesn't make mistakes. He's like the best artist out there. Like, He's perfect. So if He made you the way you are, you're supposed to look that way. Let's say if your nose is rounded, it's supposed to be rounded. That's beautiful. You have to see that you are beautiful.
You have to own it.
Yeah, and nobody else in the world is gonna look like you ever.
Right.
So I feel like that's a common label, that you have to look a certain way. You have to look black hair, maputi, or you have straight hair, maputi. And now uso yung kulot, uso yung big lips, uso yung curvy. Filipinas are naturally tanned, and in other countries that's beautiful.
Yes.
I feel like everybody always wants what they don't have. But what about you look at what you do have?
And appreciate
you'll be surprised. The world will open up to you. And I just want young women out there to not want to look like their idols. It's okay to love, actresses or talents and admire people, but know that you have something special about you, and grow there, enrich it pa, make it more bongga pa. Like, take up if you're good at drawing, take up a class. If you're good at singing, go do that. If you're good at math, be the best math person out there. Like, I guess it's also my parents, every day of our lives, from preschool all the way till now, they would drop us off at school, they would bring us to work, they would say, be the best. And we never knew what that meant. Like, we never knew it. Oh, why does he say be the best? But subliminally, that works in your mind.
Right.
We should be.
So always tell yourself that. Be the best all the time.
And other people too. You should always find the beauty in other people and compliment them about it. You can do so much with this one sentence and a smile. And I feel like, when you make other people feel good, it also shows how you feel about yourself.
Is that what you do to your detractors? Of course, whenever they bring you down or they put in a label on you,
I don't.
do you just give them back
You know,
with
people
something
always
good?
say haters. I don't take them as haters. I feel like everybody has their own opinion, and there's always that thing. You know, if you have nothing good to say, don't say anything at all. But not everybody was brought up the same way, and I feel like, you know, it's their opinion. I'll take it with a grain of salt, but at the same time, I will not let it pass if it wasn't, you know, if it didn't have any substance, and I use it to make me better.
Right.
Like if somebody says, "Oh my God, you're so fat," I'll be like, "Well, it's true. Like I gained weight, you know." But there are reasons behind it, but it doesn't mean I'm not going to work on it. I appreciate some people just have certain ways of bringing things out, you
Right.
know. And of course, it doesn't mean that it won't hurt you. But I
Right.
feel like, what are you going to do about it?
But what about, like, of course, you need to have someone also with you who's supposedly on your side, meaning someone that you look up or you run to whenever you feel like already so tired from all the detractors that you have or all the insults that you get from the labels. Who's that person that you run to?
Well, when I was younger,
To help you out.
I used to be, you know, I used to keep everything inside and bottle it up, and I'd be like, I don't want to share because I don't want to bring anyone's day down, or maybe they won't understand me. But I feel like, you know, we're all going through something. Everybody else has a struggle too. So now I'm more open, and I talk to my friends. I talk to my parents. I talk to my fiance, and sometimes to a point that they're like, Denise, paulit-ulit na lang, narinig na namin to. Why is it still bothering you? But because I'm human, things are gonna bother me. It's normal to feel bad, people.
Right.
It's normal to get hurt. It's normal to feel bad. But you know, once you let it out, after that, what are you gonna do? I mean, I'm not perfect. There are times where I don't know what to do, but I just really, really feel bad. But give yourself time, and you'll figure out the path. Try and leave your feelings aside. I know mahirap, especially when you're in the moment itself. Try to leave your feelings aside and see, okay, how are we going to handle this without hurting anyone, with everyone's best interest at heart, you know, and especially yours.
Right. Is that your advice to women so that they can?
I think ang dami ko nang nasabing
Yeah,
advice.
you have a lot of advice, but when it comes to the labeling, any other advice that you'd like to give out on how they can stand up, just like you were able to stand up and just let go of it and work harder on what you have? What other advice could you give them?
I think, you know, I always used to say, the proof is in the end product of the pudding. You know what I mean? You have to stand firm in who you are and what you believe in, and the truth will always come out. I feel like, you know, in the end, people will always understand. Like, if you stay true to yourself and you stand firm in what you believe in, no one can knock that. And eventually they're going to be like, oh, okay, that's what she meant. When you know, I could have changed myself.
Right.
You know, I could have not told everyone about my baby. I could have not told anyone I'm engaged. You know, I could have hid everything. But that's not who I am, and I feel like this is who I am, and I'm not going to hide it because, you know,
the truth.
It's the truth, and the truth will always get you through everything. I feel like you shouldn't be embarrassed of what's going on with you, but, you know, be real about it.
Right.
And whoever you are, that's reality. That's the truth. You should own it. You know, own it, work it, and that's the most beautiful thing in a woman when they own it.
Correct.
You could. I feel like if you feel you know who you are, that's like the most beautiful thing. That makes you the most beautiful woman.
And it gives you strength.
Yeah, I feel like even at times I don't know myself. But then I try to take a step back and I'm like, what's your goal again? What are we doing here? Why am I here? What can I do to get better? You just take a step back and reevaluate yourself. Or if you're being taken over by emotions, know that your mind is over your heart for a reason. So maybe you can just feel what you're feeling later, like keep it aside just a little bit and also focus on what you got to do.
Right, and also you have the support group. You have your friends,
you have your
like for you,
friends,
your fiance
family.
as well. So you're not alone.
Yes,
basically.
And if you are alone, you know that can still be done. I feel like you have to get to know yourself also and know how strong you are. It's surprising. I don't want to be vague. Like, how do I explain this? there are people that go through things alone, but know that you can do it, because it's not a problem, it's progress, it's leading you to somewhere.
Right.
You just got to be there for yourself, and
you have to believe in yourself that you can overcome it.
I feel like I don't want to be like give slogans or like mottos. I want to be real. So how do we do this? When you feel alone and you don't have anyone to talk to, I guess what I would do, what would you do when if you had to handle some things alone?
Well, since I'm in the hot seat now,
Yeah.
I would honestly I would just pray. Really keep quiet, pray about it. And, like what you said, let my emotions out of it so that I can think clearly and see what I can do about it.
Yeah.
And not give up.
Yeah, exactly.
Just keep fighting.
Before in past relationships, when I would have, I don't know if this will help you guys, but I'm trying to think of an actual legit solution for if you're alone. So let's ride with this. Whenever I would have a breakup, I would feel sad. I would allow myself to go all out, feel sad for like 2 whole days. And then after, I'd be like, work mode, okay? So I know what I did wrong in this relationship. I know what I want more now. I know what goes with me more now. I'm one step closer to finding the one, or the one to, landing on my lap. But I would work on myself, like find ways, like, okay, this is my personality pala. It's every mistake or every endeavor is a chance for you to get to know your strength.
Right.
So
basically feel it and then later let go.
Work mode. Like,
and then work.
Let's make myself better. Let's do this.
Right.
Like, take it. I think the best advice I can give anyone out there, not just women, when something comes along, it's progress. It's hard to see it at the moment, like, because you're in sad mode or you're stressed out. But allow yourself to feel it for a few hours or like a day, and then go work mode.
Right. Exactly.
Beast mode.
Nice. All right, we got a couple of social questions from our social media from our friends there. Just like this one from Jessica Bartolome. She's asking, how do you find balance between work and taking care of your child? Because it is hard, right? I'm sure all the mothers agree about that. It's a difficult task. So any tips for the mothers out there?
Okay.
How do you get to balance the two?
Well, any mother will tell you that they wish that there was 5 of them. Like, there's one for you to...
Or more hands.
Yeah,
maybe.
or more hands. Like one for you to be 24/7 with your child, one for you to conquer the world, and one for you to be 24/7 with your husband or fiance or boyfriend, and one 24/7 for your family, like your parents.
And one for yourself.
And one for yourself to just get massages.
Right.
But, you know what? It's just like work. If it's something that you love, no matter how hard it is, you love it. There are times you're going to be tired and you're going to be stressed out or sick or want to do other things. But when you look at your child and then they laugh or they giggle or they're even being a brat at the moment, you'll remember that, this is what I love. Like, this is worth it. But to be real, how I handle all of that all at once is I'm very puyat. But I feel like
look it. You're gorgeous.
I feel like I was meant to be a mom, because even before I was a mom, I had too much energy. Like, I would go tape 4 or 5 days straight without going home, and I'd still find the moment I get home, I still go out with my family, go out with my friends, and then have time for church and time for myself, or take workshops to better myself.
Right.
Or find another hobby.
Right.
But now that I'm a mom, like, I feel like timing is just right. Like, my energy gets used up na. Before kasi I'd try to sleep, hindi ako makatulog. So now, I actually enjoy sleep. So when it's time to sleep, it's time to sleep. But you really have to have a support group. Your husband has to support you, your fiance has to support you, your boyfriend, your family. I'm so blessed that I have my mom and my dad and my fiance and my siblings who help me with my son when I'm working, because I don't believe in just leaving him with just anyone. I'd rather leave them with somebody that would love him as much as I do. But for those who don't have the luxury of doing that, there's always like daycare and find the tita, find the cousin,
right. To babysit for a while. Yeah.
But it's a given that you're gonna be stretching yourself physically. But it's for your child.
And don't be shy to ask for help. Right?
Yes, don't be shy to ask for help.
Right.
Find a play date or barkada that also has kids. But yeah, be prepared to be a little bit tired, but it's all worth it. You know, you get to do everything that you want to do. So
nice. We have another question. This one is from Shar Francisco. What are the labels you encountered, and which of them is the most hurtful one?
Well, you know, growing up, I always got the malandian, even if I was like super conservative.
I think that's an often label for girls, right? The malande one, the flirty ones.
I think you grow up, you know, it's there to make you stronger. And if you know you're not, then just brush
shrug
it off.
Yeah.
If before I used to let it affect me because I wanted to please everyone. I was a major to the point now I'm still kind of a people pleaser, but not as much as before. It's just because I want peace. You know, I want everybody to be happy, but you can't please everyone.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
if you know that it's not true, let it go.
So the malande is the one that really sticks.
Yeah, and also it was kind of hard because when I got pregnant, I felt like, oh no, maybe people will think that was true. People might think, oh, talagang malandi siya, kaya siya nabuntis. So, you know, I was very happy about my pregnancy, but I didn't allow myself to read social media.
You detached yourself from it.
Yes, because I was prepared for that. And I felt like I knew it wasn't true, so I wasn't going to allow it to stress me out. But the sayang, I didn't feel like it affected me in a way. I felt like it affected all women altogether. Because so what if you got pregnant? Like, doesn't mean you can't
do anything anymore. Yeah.
It's an honor that you're given this chance to bring life into the world. Let's see a man do that. You know, giving birth to a
girl power.
Yeah, bringing a child, a human being to life is a big thing. And having that responsibility, it's not a burden. It's an honor.
Right.
You know, I feel like back in the day, people would be like, oh my God, laspag na yan.
Right.
Sorry for the word, but they'd be like, oh, laspag na yan, mommy na yan. Yeah. Now I want women to feel like I am a mom and it's hot.
Right.
You know, I am a mom and do you know how hard it is to be a mom and I can still do all these other things? You know, I can have my own business or
you have to be like Superwoman, you know.
Yeah.
You be able to do a lot of stuff.
Because the being a mother itself, whether you like it or not, you're already Superwoman.
Yeah. Agree. Totally agree. Okay, we have another one from Twitter. From Yee0005. Yeah. Okay, what is the best lesson in life that you can share to us? I know you've been sharing a lot of lessons already throughout the interview, but what is one thing that you'd really like to reach out to or tell the people?
Well, when I'm down, like super down, and when I am a human being, I do get really, really sad sometimes, especially since I want everybody around me to be happy all the time. So I feel people when they're sad. I take it on to myself, I guess. But one thing I try to remind myself the most is, you know, God doesn't give you problems. He gives you progress. Get excited. It's hard now. It sucks right now. But get excited for the finished product. Imagine, you know how diamonds are created?
Yeah,
they're actually rocks.
Right.
But because of the pressure and the friction and all the things it goes through, it becomes this beautiful shine strong diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. There you go. So, you know, look forward to the finished product. And then after you look forward to the finished product, think, how am I going to get there? What can I do to get there? Because once you allow yourself to fall into that pit of sadness, it's like a spiral staircase.
There, yes.
And you're gonna end up you're gonna wallow in self-pity, and you know, no support system can bring you out of that but yourself.
Right.
The only person that can bring you out of depression is yourself. You have to wake up from that and know that there's something beyond that. You have to bring yourself out of it. Wake up and see the reality that nothing's gonna happen to you if you're sad. And that's answering our question kanina of how to get out of problems by yourself.
Right.
Only you. You know, you can vent to your friends all you want. You can get advice all you want. You can ask for advice all you want, but if you don't do something, like, nothing's gonna happen. So there you go.
Awesome. All right. You know, I think it's about time for us to let you go, but before that, any last messages for your fans out there that you would like to let them know?
Yeah, thank you, to my Rafnicians, my Denisians, my Twitter followers, my Instagram followers, you guys I don't get to reply a lot, but I want you guys to know that you guys mean a lot to me, especially in times where I'm having a bad day. I see your messages. It puts me in a good mood, or even when it's not a good message, it gets me all pumped up to do something awesome. I just want to thank you guys. Even through my pregnancy, haters or not, I want to thank you guys, because I wouldn't be here if not for all of you. And I guess one advice that I do want to leave with everyone is, guy or girl, I want you guys to know that God is the best artist. So there's no such thing as ugly. There's no such thing as pangit or hindi bagay yung, your features to your face. I want you to know that you are unique. You are beautiful. There's nobody else, or handsome. There's nobody else like you in the world. And you can achieve anything that you want to. Just don't get in your own way. Mm-hmm. So God doesn't give you problems, He only gives you progress. And that's truth for you right there.
Wow. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. And thank you for joining us in this Shine Strong one-on-one. Denise did not let other people and their opinions write her story. So today, she's so successful. Look at her now.
I'm not where I want to be yet. Believe me, there's a lot more.
You're getting there.
It's a lot of hard work.
Right.
But never stop.
But never quit, right?
Yes.
Don't quit. And she wrote her own happy ending, and you can too. So continue to share your views and join in the conversations by using the hashtag ShineStrong. Thank you.
Shine Strong.